Seatbelt sign is still on, so please remain seated with your seatbelt.
Dear Elizabeth, my name is Keon Benton, and I'm from the downtown section of Elizabeth, New Jersey. With the lack of resources, employment, and role models in the urban communities, some people turn to the streets to provide for their families, but not by choice. Everyone watching this docu-series, especially the teenagers, I hope and pray that you are listening and able to learn something from this story, because this project was put together for you. Getting the fast money on the block is all good and all, until you start to notice your little brother's gaining interest. Meet Antoine Nelson. He lost his brother Kelvin Coop Nelson in 2015 to gun violence. This story is a little different from the rest, but I'll let Antoine tell this story.
I am the brother of Kelvin Coop Nelson. We are from Elizabeth, born and raised in Elizabeth. A little background about Coop. I can say coming up, Coop was very, very athletic. We used to play football in Jackson Park a lot against different people. And at the time, Coop was, he was younger than us, but he still got picked because he was good for his age. He always played with the older kids, and that made him a lot better as as the years went on. I know a couple of people that played with him who went on to Division I schools. They could attest that Coop was right there with him. Like, he should have been right there with him, but he got detoured by the streets. Coop was a cool dude. I don't know enemies that he had. I don't know him to have had enemies. He was more of a homebody. You wouldn't catch him out in the clubs. He didn't do too much partying. Even when I used to be promoting parties, I used to try to get him to come out to parties, but he wouldn't come. That just wasn't his thing. But he came to a big events, like if I was having a birthday party or something, he'd come out. But he just wasn't into partying. He was more into playing 2K, watching sports, ESPN, no matter what sport it is. His favorite team. He was Giants out. But he looked up to me and Shaq as older brothers, and a lot of things that we did influenced who he became, whether bad or good. I kind of blame myself on some of the routes that he took, because it was routes that I took and he saw me take. We told him we didn't want him out there. You athletic, go to school, play sports. But at the same time, he knows that we're out there. He sees us out there. Even when he used to sneak and try to get out there and do his own thing and sell drugs and hustle. When we found out, we used to take it from him. And, even whoever gave it to him, we would tell him yo, don't give my brother no drugs. He not selling drugs. This is not what he doing. But, as time went by, as me and Shaq, went away and did time, we left him out there. And we wasn't there to, shield him from, the ills of the streets and the world. But in that time, he became his own man. And, he was, not a little, but he was in the game. unfortunately. How did that make me feel? Like, I mean, I was away, and I had learned that he was what he was doing. He was out there, whatever. He came to see me, and I mean, like I said, I feel like I take the blame for who and what became of what he was doing, because if I would have been doing something different, then my brother most likely would have been doing something different. But he followed behind, what I did. So, I always kind of blame myself for that a little bit.
June 25th, 2015.
I remember the day. I was home. I was in South Jersey. I was watching a movie, and I remember seeing a missed call. And I'm watching the movie, I ain't paying no attention. And my phone rang again, it's Kuke again. So I asked him, like, yo, what's going on? Like, even before I even get a chance to be like, yo, what's going on? I hear it in his voice, like something ain't right. He crying. And he just like, yo, they shot bruh. Like, they shot Coop. And I'm like, who? What? Like, and I remember it was, I don't know, I can't remember if it was raining in Elizabeth, but where I was at was raining. And I swear, like, my ride from South Jersey to Elizabeth is usually about an hour 10 minutes. But I had to get to Elizabeth within 30 minutes. Like, I just remember, like, not caring about a speed limit, a red light, or anything. And as I'm riding up, I'm getting phone calls from different people, just getting phone calls and answering the phone. People telling me like, yo, Coop got hit. I'm like, all right, I'm on my way. I'm like, yo, what hospital they took him to? And they're like, I don't know. And somebody called me like, yo, what hospital he in? I'm about to go to the hospital. And he went to Trinitas. He called me back. He's like, Coop not dead. I'm like, they must have took him to university. All right, then I'm getting calls. I'm still getting calls. And next thing you know, I get a call, and it was like, they crying like, he dead. Like, I ain't even trying to hear it. I hung up. I ain't answering no more calls on the ride up. I get up here, and I just see a crowd of people on Clark Place. Come to find out, he never made it to the hospital. He was still right there on the ground. He had the white sheet over him. And it was surreal. Like, it was like unbelievable. Like, you hear about people getting shot. I know mad people that got shot. I know mad people that died. I watched people die before. Like, I saw people die right in front of me. One of my best friends, Shakir, got killed from gun violence. Like, I know a lot of people that got killed through the same way. I mean, you know that it can happen to anybody, but your little brother, you can't wrap your hands around, like, you can't fathom how that could happen. And to see my brother laying there under a sheet, man, that, to this day, like, people say, it'll get better. Nah, it won't. Like, I feel the same pain that I did that day. I feel the same pain today. Then when my mother came on the scene, 'cause they called my mother, she left work. that just watching her and seeing how that transpired with my mother when she got there, I don't think I could ever feel pain like that again. Like, you took my little brother.
So my next question, push the conversation a little further. What happened?
To my understanding, he said that he was smoking K2 and it had him out of his mind, and the devil told him to do it because he didn't know my brother, and to my understanding, he didn't know the other two people that he killed that day either. He just randomly picked out people and tried, I guess, shoot them. And the crazy thing about it is, my mother had just bought the same car that he had. My mother had just bought that car, so I'm guessing maybe my brother walked up towards the car thinking that it was my mother, and people told me who was there, like they said he just got out the car and just started shooting, and my brother was trying to run and dip and dodge, but he hit him a couple times. The cops really never allowed us to find or to. They didn't give us like details about how it went down. Most of the investigations that was done, we did it on our own to find out what was going on. But he got head shots, chest shots, I want to say back shots. Like, he really like hunted my brother down, like caught him slipping. The person who murdered my brother actually, well, right now he's serving 3 life sentences in Pennsylvania for 3 murders, and he is still has to go to court for 3 other murders in Elizabeth besides my brother. So he's was accused of killing 7 people within the span from May to I want to say the first week in July of 2015. So he killed 7 people, and that day he killed 3 people.
How has things been for you and the family?
Well, my mother lost her baby boy. My nieces lost their father. We lost a brother. I know a bunch of people that lost a good friend. People are still in mourning over my brother's death. Like, I actually didn't realize how much or how many people loved my brother until he passed away. Like, I didn't realize his reach. Like, I didn't realize how many lives were affected by his passing until his passing, and I saw the outpouring of love and support, and to this day, right now, almost 3 years later, constantly, it puts a smile on my face when I see somebody rep my brother in whatever way possible. Don't want him ever to be forgotten. Like, I want him to always be remembered. Like, it will hurt for me, for people. I wish he was still here, so I don't want him ever to be forgotten.
When dealing with the loss of a loved one, how do you cope?
The way I cope with it, man, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just try to stay busy, keep myself active and doing what I do, and trying to help the community and trying to help the kids and just trying for them not to go down certain paths that I went down, or to end up in situations where it's hard to get out of, or to end up in prison. Like, that's why I try my best to work with the kids and try to show them a different way, because I mean, it's rough. It's rough. I have my bad days. People may not believe it, but like, I have my bad days where I just need to get away and I don't, need my space. But I mean, it's tough, man. You just find different strategies to deal with it. Like, I remember a while back, somebody was debating about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, for like veterans in the military, coming back from war and, having to deal with the memories and the things that went on psychologically and not being able to cope after coming back from war. I truly believe that people in urban areas have to suffer from some form of post-traumatic stress disorder. Just living in urban areas like Elizabeth, downtown Elizabeth, we watch so many people. It's been a war going on. Like, we've been losing people. Like, this is not supposed to be normal. Like, you're not supposed to be burying your friends. Like, you're not supposed to be 35, 40 years old burying your kids. You're not supposed to be burying your kids anywhere. Your kids should be burying you. Like, it's so many people that we lost, and then you have to just deal with it. Like, you just have to deal with it. Like, basically, you just have to just learn how to keep it pushing. And it's not normal. And us as Black people don't always like to seek therapy, but I truly believe therapy is necessary I believe it's necessary for everyone, but I think for anyone growing up in an urban community, you should have someone that you can vent to and let it out, because, especially as Black brothers, we don't like to show emotions because it seems like it's a sign of weakness. So, as we are young, boys aren't supposed to cry. Why you crying? You acting like a girl. When you born like that, and that's what you've been told since you was a kid, and as long as boys not supposed to cry. Boys not supposed to cry. Why you acting like a girl? And other reasons too, that we shelter, we hide our emotions, and deep down like that, it breaks you from the inside out. Like, you need to get that out. Like, it has to come out. Like, it has to come out some way, because if it don't come out in some tears, it's gonna come out violently. It's gonna come out violently.
Is there a memorable moment you shared with Coop?
I remember being younger, him and Shaq used to jump me all the time. I remember him and Shaq used to jump me because, I was the middle child. So, and then I was the nerd in school, and I used to get the good grades, and Shaq didn't get really as good grades as I did. So, when it was time to bring the report card home, I used to be like, "Yeah, Mom, look, Mom." And then Shaq would be like, "Why you showing the report card?" I'm like, "I got all A's, why not?" And Shaq like, "Oh, I lost mine," or "I ain't get mine." And, him and Coop, we had 3 bedrooms in the apartment that we lived, and I used to, like, I know what my mother liked. Like, she just wanted you to make sure you do good in school and make sure the house clean. I knew that's what she wanted. So I did good in school and I made sure I did my chores how it was supposed to be done. So I got my own bedroom and Kuke and Shaq had to share a bedroom. Shaq didn't like that. Coop really had no choice because he was the youngest. But they used to be always plotting against me, man. They used to be always plotting against me, but yeah. You know, it was good to spend the time with my brother that I did, and I got a chance to, we got closer as we got older, despite our, 6-year age difference. But, yeah.
Why do you think the gun violence continues in Elizabeth?
I mean, as long as people got access to guns, and as long as, like I said, people don't know how to bottle their rage up, somebody's gonna grab a gun and they're gonna shoot. I mean, it's just never gonna stop. People don't want to fight no more. They don't want to go out there and get punched in the face. I mean, it's much easier to grab a gun and just shoot. But I mean, it's consequences that come with that. Jail, death. I just don't think gun violence is gonna stop. Honestly don't think it's gonna stop. The gun laws are not taking the guns out of the hands of, it's easy, it's super easy to get a gun. The boy who killed my brother, he went and, I mean, you could buy bullets out of Walmart in Pennsylvania. Like, the access is easy. So, I just don't think it's gonna ever stop, honestly.
To the teenagers who have younger siblings, remember, they are always watching. And yes, you are a role model, whether you like it or not. So stay focused on achieving your goals and don't let anyone tell you different. The streets, they are just that. And lastly, I challenge you to challenge yourself in becoming a better version of yourself. You can start by reading about our ancestors. It will give you a better appreciation for the little things in life.
Ain't nobody else shoot that.
Let's go, Doc.
Oh, he trying to cheat, fella.
I will never say that progress is being made. You stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches. There's no progress.
Pick it up.
Pull it all the way out. It did the shot, Gary. That's below that the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
Word. This for all the Panthers that rise. Word. I'm unforgiven since Dr. King was shot. Word. To the game, I love everything that Malcolm brought. Teaching us everything that Elijah taught. 60 years on the front line, Mr. Farrakhan. Showing us that this a race and not a marathon. Codeine and pills, them the scripts you on. Damn. America, the new Babylon. Celebrate every day that is side to escape. I ain't shed a tear at my mama, father wake. I curse those that cursed our mother. How you say you love God, don't even love your brother. Yeah, but everything on the set though. Till them crackers grab you, get you to flip on your set though. Use a gun for my knowledge, I got a clip full. Can't raise your child, but you can raise up a pit bull. I know. You still a
don't tell me you a good father and you don't have any community interest, no community concern. Because once you provide a child with life, then you gotta look at all aspects of life and become intimately involved with the development and nurturing of that.
You still chasing bags, you ain't catch them already? Word. Gang, 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 that's like these niggas' whole vocabulary. They don't listen to hoe, they still posting the money. Racks to your ear, where I'm from, couple hundred is money. Word. They counting them 20s captions, I'm supposed to win. But you don't own the house that you posting in. Word. Hove told you he ain't know what else to say. Word. I'ma tell you it's okay to go Eric Benet.
You'll never be a happy woman dogging your man out.
You still a real nigga.
He's not a man yet, but he will be. But if you keep on dogging him, you won't have nothing, and you'll end up being a lesbian at home with yourself, with no man by your side because your damn mouth is what it is. It's a sneak.
I know. You still a real nigga now.
And a man can't live under that because he got enough hell on his head as it is trying to function in a white man's world. And he needs a wife that has compassion and understanding, and that's the value of the MGT. The MGT is supposed to make you a woman to help you make a man for God.